everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 137-115 win against the Washington Wizards, Riker. We have a new sort of setup for the post-game reaction shows. Definitely let us know what you think of this in the chat, and if you're watching it later, in the comment section after. We'll have a little time stamp for after the live show intro, but Riker, let's dive straight into this game because the Toronto Raptors came out in this one and got a massive W.
And you're putting up, I guess it's against the worst defense in the league. I thought that the Brooklyn Nets had the worst defense of all time, but I think that the Washington Wizards are at least very much in the mix. So to post up 137 points, it isn't extraordinary, but let's just say it would have been very disappointing had they not been able to put up those numbers. But I think that the standout point of this game, what we need to jump into straight away, is that Norman Powell, I think it's in the thumbnail, Norman Powell, 28 points tonight. He's 8 for 9 of his last game, scoring 20 or more. This man, he needs to be in the starting lineup. I don't know what's going to happen when OG gets added back into the roster when he comes off his extended break. But I think Norman Powell's a fixture now. You can't be moving him. He feasts, Ben. He feasts.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And a couple people mentioned in the chat, they're asking if this is pre-recorded. This is not pre-recorded, so just want to get that out there. We're going to bring in the chat, incorporate it as we go along. But you brought it up, Riker. The Norman Powell, 28 points, 4 assists, 10 of 18 from the field, 3 of 4 from the three-point line. And this guy, ever since OG has gone down, and he has played better, even when OG was back, coming off the bench for stretches, but a lot of times there was people injured intermittently, and he'd be coming in, and his confidence is at an all-time high right now. It was this time last year, Riker, where we were sort of talking about Norman Powell taking that next step as a player, and then the way he was, I think he was the longest reigning player of the week, because he had it the week prior to obviously the league getting shut down, but he's right back to that level. And Riker, did you see what Norman Powell sort of, I guess, discredited to the fact that he had a slow start to the season? Did you hear about why that's the case?
Do you have something in mind? Or
yeah, no, he came out and said it.
I haven't heard. What is it?
It's because there's no Osmos in Tampa, so I guess the guys from Osmos got him his care packages, and you know it's taken his game to the next level. And whether it's starting or not, I just love the way he's playing, but I think he's at a point now in the same way we could sort of look at Charlotte. The way they stepped ahead. LaMelo Ball came in and stepped ahead of Devontae Graham. Norman Powell has been given an opportunity, and he's ran with it. I don't think you can sort of put that fire back into the bottle. And sure, he can play the sixth man. Sure, he might be better suited for coming off the bench as a sixth man, but OG Anunoby, he wasn't putting up this level of production, even though on the defensive end he brings a whole different kind of flair. But do you think OG should be moved to the bench? Do you think maybe we should run that small ball starting unit, maybe Chris Boucher in there? What are your thoughts on just this team going forward?
Yeah, well, we're about 6 seconds delayed here, but I'm sure people are going to have their opinions. I've been an advocate for moving Kyle Lowry to the bench. I think it's safe to say that won't happen. Huge news on his house being listed in Toronto, so we made a full breakdown video about what the possibility is that he'll be traded now sometime soon. So there's a lot of rumor, a lot of speculation around that. But Ben, again, Norman Powell, he needs to be in the starting lineup. You can't bump him to the bench. And with OG coming back, he's had a couple games off. I think logically you'd want to, dip their feet into the water before you throw them completely in. I think it's fine to put OG on that bench unit. But then again, you typically want your best offensive player to come first off the bench. And can Boucher maintain that level of play? He's been pretty inconsistent now over the last couple of games, but tonight was another fantastic outing for him. Ben, I do want to just plug really quickly, like this video if you're watching it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We have to put the plug out because apparently it super helps our channel. And this one, it's just it's a special podcast. So let us know if you like the live and we'll keep it going. But Ben, again, to me, OG should be coming off the bench now when he returns. Norm should be the guy coming off the bench. It should be Fred VanVleet and Norm 1 and 2. But I know you have your own opinions on that. What is it going to take to sustain this level of play so the Raptors can beat the Celtics and keep winning?
Yeah, well, those are two big questions there, and I've been creeping the chat. People are saying Siakam and OG at the 5, and I'm in agreement with that. I've been on that high horse for the past few weeks now, saying run that small ball unit. Sure, it is what it is, but that's the lineup we should be closing games with. And if it turns Norman Powell into the beast that he's been as of late, then who cares if you're a little bit undersized to start off the game? If it starts getting messy, throw in Aaron Baines, throw in Chris Boucher, throw in whoever you have to throw in there and fix it. But I think just the offensive firepower, the mobility, we still have big guys out there. OG Anunoby can handle himself down low. Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet certainly are not to be messed with when they're on the backside of a zone or something like that. So, and we saw a case of that tonight, but I won't spoil any segments that we'll talk about later. But I'm in agreement with the chat. I do see where you're coming from with the Lowry. We've had that sort of discussion before, so I won't dive in too much to that any further. But it's definitely interesting. So definitely keep leaving your takes there in the chat.
Let me say one more thing, though. Let me say one more thing on that point, Ben, because I agree where people's hearts are at. But Raptors, they've never been torched this season really by guards. The games that they've lost have all been pretty competitive, but Bradley Beal's the hottest player offensively in the league right now at 33 points per game. They held him to 40%, 16 from three. He only got, I think, 20-ish, 24 points it was. So they don't have that much issue because of how good on ball Fred VanVleet is, how good Kyle Lowry still is at his age. They can contain those guys. We saw the Raptors get eaten up, Boucher, against Jonas Valanciunas and the Memphis Grizzlies. We just saw Alex Len get a lot of offensive rebounds and a lot of strong finishes in the paint. Now, if you have to have Siakam at the 5, is he going to be able to man up, play post defense, and not get fouled? Because that's what you'd run the risk at. If you're starting games with Siakam at the 5 against traditional bigs, he runs the risk of, being overpowered there. And he probably can't guard a guy like Alex Len as good as he is.
I think he could guard a Len. I think he's capable of guarding a Len, even though he's a bit bigger. But the more skilled big men, I see where you're coming from, like a Jonas Valanciunas. But again, then you switch it up. You see how it goes off the fly. The league has moved to small ball for a reason, because you can torch those big men that are out there on the court. So it's a two-way street, and the Raptors usually find ways to sort of scheme their way out of weird matchups. But definitely like hearing what you guys have to say. But you brought up Siakam, and I saw a stat, I don't have the specific numbers, but when Aaron Baines isn't on the floor, Pascal Siakam takes his game to a whole nother level. And tonight, 26 points, 5 rebounds, had that space, and was driving the lane, and we threw it in the title. Usually we create our titles after the videos, but we created this one early. But Siakam was splashing a few threes tonight, and we've been really excited about that over the past couple podcasts. And tonight, 3 of 4 from the three-point line, and having that extra aspect to his game is just, it's going to unlock so much more for Siakam. And now that three-point shot is a threat, he's able to have players close out to him. And he didn't take the thing about Siakam at the beginning of the season, because he wasn't shooting horribly in those first 4 or 5 games. I remember Nick Nurse actually talking about how in the preseason, or whatever it was, it wasn't really a preseason, the mini preseason, Nick Nurse was going on saying that Siakam's jumper looks better than ever, and I think that was the case. And maybe it's true, but the percentages haven't played out. But he came into this year, he'd make a couple to start the game, and then instead of using that now, the teams going at him at the three-point line, closing him out, and driving to the lane, which he's done in the past couple, he just start hucking up contested threes, the step-back ones, the dribble, I'm going to take a deep one, and that just ruins your rhythm. That just gets you all off kilter when you miss 2 or 3 straight, and I think that just built up to where his confidence went in a complete rut. But now he seemed to come out of that hole he put himself in at the start of the year. When he hits a couple, he's not forcing them like he shouldn't be. So the fact that he's a capable three-point shooter now, to knock them down when they're open, make the defense respect him, it's going to open so much up more for the rest of the game. And he just has to take advantage of it like he has been in the past couple.
Ben, he's not Jason Tatum. He's not Kevin Durant. He's a true power forward. It's just complimentary at how good his ball handling has become, and that his three-point shooting has been improved. But you said it. No dribble pulls, right? No contested threes. The benefit to Pascal Siakam shooting three-pointers in rhythm is that it forces defenders to have to actually go out so that he can use his speed at his position to get around them and finish in the paint, which is what he does so well. And what I think you could really attribute this stretch of really fantastic basketball played by Pascal Siakam is that he's living comfortably down in the post, and that's where he should be. That's where he should remain this entire season. That's where he can score at will. If they put a big guy against them, he can get around them with his quickness. A little guy, he can shoot over them. So Ben, I love what I've seen from Pascal Siakam. I hope that he doesn't regress and get 5-10 points against the Celtics, make us all sad again. But if he can keep this up, if he can get 20-30 points against the Celtics, it'll be a great time all around in Raptorland.
Yeah, if he plays this style of game, I'm pretty confident going into that one, especially with how the Celtics have been struggling as of late. But we'll talk about that to death tomorrow, and we'll get to the segments quickly. We're running a little bit longer here, but Kyle Lowry, 21 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. You and I were both not in the camp of trading Lowry, and that's what the reports have been over the past 2 games. And this game further solidifies my stance in that direction. Don't trade Kyle Lowry unless you're getting a haul back, a bunch of firsts. Don't do it for Andre Drummond. Sure, trade for Andre Drummond, but don't do it in a package that involves Kyle Lowry. You still in agreement with that, or did something in this game somehow take you off?
He's our closer. Yeah. I just want him coming off the bench. That's it.
Yeah, and we disagree there, but we both want him on this roster. Chris Boucher, another strong performance tonight. 17 and 15 rebounds. I didn't see that rebound number before, but before I just looked at it. Monster game from him. So that's all. Bembry came off the bench. TD came off the bench, 10 points and 13 points respectively. Solid outputs from them. We've talked about Bembry.
Swing it to the segment.
Yeah. Let's swing.
We don't need to talk about these guys.
They had solid games. I'm giving them a little bit of shout out, Riker. You gotta give some love to the boys, but we'll swing into segments. And tonight, the spicy P-lay of the day. Boucher has made me pay for missing his highlight dunks over the weekend when I was quite sick watching that game. And let us know your thoughts on these plays too. What you think these plays are, because we're bringing them up. We like to hear your takes, but Boucher had another dunk tonight, which was pretty remarkable down the lane. It came down stretch and caught a body. I think it might have been Denny. Yes. So
however you say it.
I'm not pronouncing that last name. Not gonna try. But Boucher's making me pay for missing those dunks. He's got a couple now in the past game, so we're giving him the spicy P-lays of the day. Do you have any other ones in mind, Riker?
Ben, the spicy Pele was the posters. Aaron Baines put Alex Len on a poster. Bembry put somebody on a poster. Norman Powell off of a Russell Westbrook steal. Russell Westbrook thought he could get in there, but Norm went for a poster. It was just posters all around. What a lovely display of just brutality against the rim, Ben.
A bloody display of brutality. So that's the only way to put this game. Lots of nice dunks, lots of nice plays, but not all plays can be the spicy P-lay of the day, and some just make you say, oh, geez. And tonight, the OG's play of the day for me, Riker. I had a couple. You mentioned one just then, but Aaron Baines at the start of this game came down against his other signing. I don't know his brother signing for the Raptors this offseason, Alex Len. They had the matchup for the ages, Alex Len revenge game, but Baines put any high hopes for Alex Len to rest at the start of this one with a nasty poster in the block, a little spin. It looked like it was going to be a hook shot, but Aaron Baines, I guess, said, I got these minutes now. You took my starting position for a couple of those games. A little bit of nice to see a nice dunk on him by there. But Alex Len came out 11 points, 5 rebounds, splashed a 3, 5 of 6 from the field. Had one nice little back scratcher underneath the rim. I call it a little bit of a revenge game for Alex Len tonight.
I would tend to agree with you. I'm browsing the comments here, but yeah, no, I agree with everything that you said. Alex Len, he's not much of a skilled player, but nor is Aaron Baines. I said to my roommate watching this, it's the battle of the trash bigs, but I don't want to bag too heavily on them. They're both working their hearts off.
They seem like likable guys too. They're out there, they're smiling and stuff. They're good interviews. Yep. So. But they both kind of look like JV as well, so you gotta give a little shout out there. But yeah, there's the OG's plays of the day, but finally the infamous, the one, the only DeMare Carroll Gold Star Award, and it sounded like you had one to take away, so sound off, Riker.
Did I? Oh, I didn't actually have anybody. Today it was just a good performance all around. I really liked what I saw from the starting lineup. Terrence Davis came in and gave us good minutes. Boucher played really well tonight, and Bembry, we skipped past him, or I suggested to skip past him, but he's been really playing his heart out and maybe even taking minutes away from Stanley Johnson, who we thought was a lock as sort of the, that 7th, 8th, ninth guy off the bench. But Bembry's coming in and giving his last minute push. I don't want to give the gold star to anybody except maybe, I don't know, one of those ones where I give it to myself because I still want Russell Westbrook to be better than what he is. In my brain, he's still, NBA Finals, Kevin Durant, Ibaka. Yeah, but that meme where somebody's like, he doesn't have any bag. He's just athletic, like no crossover, nothing. It kind of holds true. And yeah, I just want him to be better. So gold star to Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, that's fair. I was planning on giving it to just the Washington Wizards defense in general. This team, you're just out here, and it feels like the lane's wide open on every possession. There's one moment, I don't know what happened, but Terrence Davis was open in the corner, the right wing. He didn't go to the corner for some reason, but caught on the right wing. No one around him. There wasn't a person within a kilometer of him on that right side of the basketball court, and he shot it up, and you obviously are looking at the basketball when someone's shooting, right? He misses it, and then Bembry's underneath the rim. This wasn't a transition play. This was in the half court. Then Bembry is just underneath the rim with no one around him either. Like, the ball's on the right side of the court, and then all of the Wizards, because you're focused on the ball, right? All of the Wizards players had to be on, like, the top left side of the basketball court, clumped together. And I don't know how on earth that happened. I don't know what was on the go that possession, but that kind of sums up the Wizards defense, and it sums up their season so far. They're 6-16. They had some high hopes coming in this year, as you mentioned, with Russell Westbrook and those guys. So they got to fix that defense. It's getting messy. People are shouting out the like button, or hit the like button. So shout out to
not
Rio.
The like button, the
like section. Come on, guys, you gotta you gotta get it right. Hit the like section. People want me to play the intro accidentally, so yeah. People think
clear the air right now. That's not an accident. It is an accident. It's not a meme. It's not part of. Yeah,
people think it's a serious thing when I mess up the intro. With a live one, I'm focused because that's a 2-minute thing that I don't want to run for another 2 minutes. But it's a we'll see on the next pod. I certainly expect it will happen in the future. People want me to play it. I'll throw it there for a second so people are happy. But
play us out, Ben.
Play us out. Okay, we got that. We got this going. I'll throw the live intro in the front, get the music playing in the background. Not sure if it'll sound this out, but yeah, this might be a messy edit, so I'll throw it to the end. But you guys are the best for make this far. Check out the Twitter, the Instagram, all the cool stuff. Check out the website, raptorsdigest.ca. We have a lot of articles coming. Gonna make an article. I've written my first one, so I'm excited to promote that on here on the IG. So plug that. Not sure if it's coming out today or tomorrow or Friday. So stay tuned for that over there. Check out the TikTok. Stuff is coming up over there. But, Ryker, you have any last words before I throw on the intro music?
That's it for me, Ben. Cheers.
Nice. Ooh.